Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Craig Burrell, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Squadron Leader Stacey Davids. We are honoured to acknowledge the General Secretaries of Catholic Bishops' Conferences from England, Wales, France and Germany, and Australia, who are attending this evening. We warmly welcome members of the International Policy Division, Department of Defence, who are also joining us this evening. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Willetton Senior High School, Western Australia. If able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the hearts of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Acting Corporal Eric Goble. Eric Charles Goble was born on the 16th of April 1905 in Palmerston, a city on the South Island of New Zealand. The son of Annie and Aidan Goble, he had an older brother, Howard. Known as Snowy by his mates, Goble migrated to Australia and settled in West Geelong, Victoria, where he worked spray painting cars. Goble enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 23rd of October 1939, not long after the beginning of the Second World War. He soon began training with the 2nd 6th Infantry Battalion at Puckapunyal. In April 1940, Goble embarked from Melbourne aboard the transport ship Neuralia, bound for the Middle East. After arriving at Kantara on the Suez Canal in Egypt, the unit moved to Palestine, where they continued to train for 6 months. During this period, Goble spent time on a security detachment in Gaza and was promoted on a number of occasions, eventually serving at the rank of Acting Corporal. In mid-September 1940, Goble and the 2nd 6th Battalion began to move into Egypt in preparation for fighting against Italian forces in North Africa. In December, the battalion began to move along the Egyptian coast towards the border with Libya in preparation for the Battle of Bardia, their first major engagement in the war. While preparing for the battle in late December 1940, Goble was part of a night patrol of Italian positions near Bardia, which was assigned with examining frontier wire positions, communications, and Italian strong points. At about 2:30 a.m. on the 29th of October, the patrol found Italian soldiers digging into a position. The Australians set up an ambush as the sun began to rise and attempted to take an Italian soldier as a prisoner of war, but came under rifle and mortar fire. The Italian force was about 70 men strong and outnumbered the Australian patrol. The Australians were ordered to retreat. Goble, who was on the left of the ambush, attempted to attack what turned out to be an Italian strong point armed with a grenade and a rifle. One report states that as he attempted to throw his grenade, he was shot and killed instantly. In the chaos of the retreat, the outnumbered Australians were unable to retrieve his body. He was 36 years old. His name is listed on the Alamein Memorial in Egypt, which commemorated the names of nearly 12,000 casualties of the Second World War who have no known grave. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. His name is listed on the roll of honor on my left among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Acting Corporal Eric Goble, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and we wish you all a very good evening.